Welcome to Kimono Therapy, Rituals to Process Life. For those of you that are new, my name is Christina. I am a psychotherapist, a Reiki practitioner, as well as a personal support worker. And in this week's message, I wanted to share something that recently came up in a training that I had done that can really help when it comes to creating success, abundance, and happiness in our life. And that is, we want to work on our strengths and not our weaknesses. We have inside of us this little person, and it's called an inner villain. And this inner villain thrives when we focus on our time and our efforts on things that we're not good at, because we were taught to focus on our weaknesses and make them stronger. But have you ever had the experience that when you focus on your weakness, it just compounds and becomes a larger weakness? No doubt throughout our life we were taught that, and we try to improve our skills and our abilities in those areas, but we don't thrive. So hands down, it might be the biggest lie that we have ever been told. And at the end of the day, all of this robs us of our confidence. I have experienced that. My clients have experienced that. And when I did this training with my mentors, I know it might sound crazy when you first hear about it, but since a really young age, let's use the example, I was not good at math. And I was told to keep working on math, and I did, and there was some complex equations that I just could not get. And I would get frustrated and I would get angry. And I don't know if you've had that experience, but when you were told you had a weakness and you continued to focus on it, did it become a strength? Not for me, not for my clients. So you might not agree with me yet, but I hope you'll soon say, the heck with my weaknesses, and start focusing on my strengths. And what I mean by that is, after I had done a training, I sat down and honestly assessed the weaknesses that I had and how I had been trying to make them my strengths and it wasn't working, that I flipped the script and I sat down and I wrote my strengths. Now I'm just going to give you an example from an entrepreneur, not me, but a story of an entrepreneur. There was this particular gentleman who was an entrepreneur, and he was highly successful. And he was making 6-7 figure income, but his office was a write-off. There was paperwork everywhere. There were bills, and he knew that his weakness was organization. And he kept focusing on trying to get everything organized. But the more he kept doing that, the less stronger he got, focusing on his strength. He just got frustrated and angry, and he was married at the time, still is, and he was sharing this with his wife, and his wife said, listen, I have been a receptionist for years, and my strength is organization in the office. Why don't you just let me do it, and you focus on what you're good at? And at first he was like, nope, I have to conquer this. I have to be organized in order to be successful, and it didn't work. So he said, you know what? I give up. You take care of it. She took care of the office. She took care of the organizational issues, and that was her strength. He focused on his strengths, and he became even more successful. So I know that this is a misconception about improving our weaknesses, to practice more and more, to create it to be a strength. But it's a really well-intentioned and misplaced idea, but it doesn't work. So the message this week is to stop focusing on your weaknesses and take a moment to find out what your strengths are and make them even stronger. That's the message this week, all right? Let's just take a second, shall we? All right. If you need some help focusing on your strengths versus your weaknesses, I know this message this week, A Ritual to Process Life, might be a little bit challenging because, again, we've been taught to focus on our weaknesses and make them strong. But what I would love for you to do is stop doing that and start focusing on your strengths, okay? Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. I truly appreciate you guys. I'll see you next Wednesday with another Kimono Therapy Ritual to Process Your Life. Take care, namaste, and blessings to you. See you soon. Bye.